What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. Hopefully, everyone is having an amazing Friday. I know I am. I'm ready for the weekend, man. I know we got Tuesday off. Should take Monday off. Give me a 4-day weekend. I'll think about that. Maybe I'll do that. Some rest days. I'm ready for football. I'm ready for the couch, and I'm ready for some chicken wings. I hope you got amazing plans, but check it out. What we've been speculating for months, it just got confirmed. XRP insiders, they're not just hinting anymore. They are showing their hands. It is all happening right now behind closed doors. And by the time most people realize what's unfolding, guess what? It is going to be too late. Let's jump into this thing because we got a lot to cover, everyone. Bitcoin, it's down under 100K. Let's see what happens on the daily. Remember that CME gap in the lower $90,000 region has always been the major point of interest. Coming in at $99,560 ETH, coming in at $3,218 in XRP. $2.16. Total cryptocurrency mark $3.33 trillion as your average crypto RSI. Well, it's still sitting at 46.75, right splat in the middle. We're not oversold. We are not overbought. Let's see what the weekend got in store for us, right? Look, it's all short-term noise. As I tell you a million times, if this becomes too much for you, step away, come back. We're all still going to be here. And now this is the big one. Hopefully today goes through. The Senate's voting today to push through a deal that could end the U.S. government shutdown. I mean, we are officially in the longest shutdown in history. But here's what no one's saying about this. This deal is not just about keeping the lights on. It's about who's going to control the liquidity. Every single time DC plays this little shutdown game, it's really about printing authority. And guess who's positioned perfectly for the next reset of payment rails? You guessed it, Ripple and XRP, the global bridge that never sleeps. Because did you catch Coinbase, Brian Armstrong's latest statements? And I wish I had it pulled up so I can show it to you. He's talking about getting 24/7, 365 tokenized stocks on Coinbase. Seems like the perfect job for Ando, doesn't it? We get to this Pantera Capital. So I'm going to play you part of this, okay? It starts around the 20-minute and 27-second mark. This is where Garlinghouse starts talking about the buyback of its shares. Now, when a company, a private company, starts buying back equity, it means one thing. It means that they know exactly what is coming. They're not raising cash here. They are locking in control. Listen up.
You've shared a lot of your thoughts on all these tender offers and how much you've bought back. What can you share with our audience?
I mean, kind of a little known fact that we're, not that we're covert about it, but we've actually repurchased over 25% of the company. We've spent $4 billion buying shares back from our shareholders. We haven't needed to go public, and so we haven't prioritized that. And the way we kind of solve the shareholder liquidity problem is by just buying back shares at increasingly higher prices. I mean, to some degree, SpaceX has been doing that. And so, we just yesterday closed another $1 billion tender offer, valuing Ripple at about $40 billion.
Excellent. Is there anything you can say about whether you will go public?
Look, we're not in a hurry. Obviously, the window's open. I will say as a very positive thing, I think a watershed moment for the crypto industry was the Circle IPO.
Yep.
It went from, I think people were worried about how that was going because it was during the Tariff Liberation Day event and the public markets weren't sure, and to see how oversubscribed it was and see how, and even now I think it's a $35 billion company. I think that is phenomenal for crypto broadly. Obviously, some of the other ones that have gone public, whether it's Bullish or Gemini, haven't gone quite as, they've done well, but not quite as well. But because Ripple, today we have, just shy of $4 billion on the balance sheet. And so we're not in a hurry to go public. And we feel like we can play offense from an M&A point of view and continue to stay private. There's some benefits to being private. At some point, I would imagine we'll knock on the public markets door, but that's not today.
Well, until then, we will still be your investor. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank
Dan.
you.
All right, let's stop it there. Look, this isn't about greed. It is about timing. Brad knows what the next phase looks like. We told you in the first video today, Brad told you they're going to be buying more companies. He understands exactly what Ripple is doing. I wish we were on the inside of that, but we're not. But we find out. But we put all the pieces together. He is putting the company in position before Wall Street even wakes up. And then let's fast forward to Ripple swell. Remember Brad on stage saying how Ripple's now valued at $40 billion after a $500 million investment from monsters in the space, Citadel and Fortress? This is your traditional finance moving into XRP's house, into XRP's lane. You think it's a coincidence? Of course it's not a coincidence. And Brad teased one thing here. One thing that we all have been waiting for. The XRP ETF is coming. He didn't have to say much. His little smirk said it all. And then Raul Paul gets over here with Jay Visor. They confirmed everything we have been talking about for the past 3 years. Bitcoin is about time. Bitcoin stores value. But XRP moves your value. That's why I was drawn to XRP since day one. Look, the velocity of money, it's broken. Everyone knows that. And what fixes it? XRP fixes it. That is the difference between holding wealth and moving it through the global economy at light speed. Listen to this clip.
Bitcoin said Bitcoin's all about time. You have to understand you're getting your time back. You know what's interesting about that is everything in the fiat system takes time. It's all about borrowing money for 20 years out. Well, if every day moves what used to be a year, then you're not borrowing money for the future because the future is completely unpredictable. So it doesn't happen. So eventually what goes on is the entire leverage in the fiat system has to come down. It has to. If the money's moving into stable coins, what's replacing, and this is going to get into something which I'm sure you've had charts of before, but you remember how back in the early 2000s, we would look at the money velocity chart and you had to get money velocity up.
Yeah.
Well, with AI agents, you know what's going to happen? The velocity of money is going to go through the roof.
Same with stable coins. Those two combined, a velocity.
That's what I mean, is that the AI agents will be trading stable coins so fast.
I mean, just a beautiful, beautiful clip, which brings us over to this. India. They just ruled XRP as property, not a token, not a security, but property. That single definition unlocks a world of legal clarity. It means XRP can now be integrated into everything, from remittances all the way to real estate, with institutional protections already baked in. And if you think that doesn't matter, well, India, they move $87 billion a year in remittances. I think it matters. Ripple is now positioned at the center of the largest payment corridor in the world. I don't know if you remember, but Ashish Burla about 4 to 5 years ago, he told us that if you sign about 4 banks in India, you have about 75% of all banks on board. Ripple is there. They've been there. They opened an office over there. They've been working with the government over there in a central bank. I did an article on XRPrightnow.com 6 years ago on India talking about this entire takeover that is happening. And then Smoke just drops the documents and tells you everything here. Ripple in India, they're not testing anything. They are already operational. You can see the documents on your screen. There's not a better way to send into India than Ripple. Ripple is already a household name on the Indian subcontinent. They are literally building financial infrastructure that bypasses SWIFT, and the world's about to find out why that all matters. I hope you're paying attention, folks, and I tell you this time and time again, and I will keep telling this to you. Whenever you are dealing with banks or governments, it takes a very long time, but we are almost at the finish line. Hold strong. Pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to those partnerships and how big they are. If you don't know who Citadel is, go look it up. They are the biggest Wall Street giant in the history. They control 40% of the trading volume for the NASDAQ and Wall Street right now. There is a reason that they are coming aboard and purchasing, I should say, because purchasing is a lot bigger than partnering with Ripple. We are past the speculation phase. When Ripple's buying back shares, when Citadel's investing in countries like India are rewriting their laws around XRP, this isn't some conspiracy or riddle anymore. This is the confirmation that we need. The insiders already made their moves. Now the question is, are you going to be early here? Are you going to be left on the sidelines just watching? Because I know where I'm going to be. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. I'll catch all y'all on the next one.